Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to this afternoon lecture. And today's topic is about the monastic training. And today I select this particular sutra or the discourse or the teaching of the Buddha just for you. Because in this teaching, the Buddha actually instruct Ānanda, his personal attendants, about how the new monk should be trained. But for this particular sutra, it's just perfect for you guys who just ordained 3 days ago. Start from today onward, I will start taking you deeper into the teaching of the Buddha, into the Dhamma. There are a series of lectures that I prepare. Start from today, after you ordain, we want you to know how the new monk should be trained first, because you get some idea. And then we'll get to know the Dhamma of how, for example, how Buddhism began. What exactly that the Buddha discovered, and then we go down that path, okay, and to explore deeper in terms of the teaching of the Buddha that kept in the Buddhist text. The monastic training, you may be wondering, now I become a monk, how am I supposed to train myself, or what kind of thing that I should be expect, how the training look like. We did talk about the story of Venerable Ānanda, who was asked by different ascetic, the monk from different teacher, that after following the teaching of the Buddha, what considered difficult? Sariputta, among all the wisdom that he know, he point to Banpacha. So ordination for him is difficult. And we explore in that area a little bit. That come with the deep meanings. It refers to that person sees something in the lay life that is not right. So they choose to leave the lay life completely and become a monk. So for someone to take ordination, back then, I'm talking about in the Buddha time, most people would ordain for life because they think it through. And this day, how many people actually ordain to realize Nibbana? That's a far-reaching goal, right? We just want to know, okay, what kind of Dhamma that benefit us right here, right now? How can I meditate? How can I be mindful? How can I observe precept? How can I be a good son, good husband? Then you come and learn. How can I get more merit for my mom and my dad? Then you come and ordain. Okay, whatever goal that you come, it's okay. You can always benefit from the teaching of the Buddha. It depends on how much you want to put into practice. Okay, in this context, 2,500 years ago, a man with a good life come to listen to the Dhamma. What is the Dhamma again? The Dhamma is the teaching of the Buddha, for one meaning. So he may not heard about anything about life after death, about heaven and hell, about Nibbana, all this. And all of a sudden he come across this kind of teaching. The Buddha passed by, or the great senior monk passed by. They have to be there in that crowd, listen to the Dhamma that discovered by the Buddha. And it got him thinking about life, about lay life, about monk's life, and then they make decision to explore deeper. Okay, if there were two options in life, first, live life as a lay person. Second, live life as an ascetic or a monk. So we live spiritual life or live a lay life. So if I were to live life as a lay person, let's say, if I were to create the perfect environment for my family life, myself born, I get a good job, good education, I can find a beautiful wife, I can have a lovely children, I can take good care of them for the rest of my life, no problem. Live up to 100 years and everyone say goodbye, we die. Okay, but life is not end there. The Buddha talk about the law of karma, the Buddha talk about heaven and hell. The Buddha talk about a lot of things that got this man thinking, okay, if I can have that good life, I can take care of myself, my family, my children, send them to good school, and then we all separate, we all die. Okay, I do good, I get good result. Hopefully I can born in heaven after I die, according to the teaching. So man do good, donate, give, teach, help others. At the same time, he being a good husband, observing precept, no cheating on the wife, do his best according to the Dhamma, and die and born, let's say, born in heaven. And when the time is up, he returned to human realm, born again as a man, being a good man, smart, healthy, rich, find another Beautiful wife, have a few of the beautiful children, take good care of them, raise them for another 100 years and die, and then go back to heaven again. Come back and reborn as a human, do the same thing. Different wife, different children, different kind of job, different country, but go back to the same place because he's good man. He's do good all his life, never break precept. Over and over and over for a countless lifetime. So the man see this, okay, this is how far the lay life can take me. And then he reflect on the monk's life. What if I choose to be a monk? How far can this life take me? Okay, now I have no wife, no children, no money, no traveling the world, stay in the forest, meditate all day long, practice the Dhamma. What do I get? He put these two lifestyles into consideration. He think it through. And then he make decision, you know what, I'm going to become a monk. Not interested in having a lay life. This life is empty. There's nothing there. Just repeat. Change life, change wife, change children, change job, change country to reborn. Go up, come back, go up, come back. There's no end to it. But another life is different. This is the life that the Buddha chose to live, even though he was born perfect. Powerful, handsome, highly educated, beautiful wife, kids. How come a man born in such condition decided to leave things behind? And not just him. Many kings in the past, many millionaires in the past come across the Dhamma, decided to leave things behind. One of the millionaires, once he heard the word Buddha exists, he stopped everything, just go locate the Buddha and wants to become a monk. Money means nothing, possession means nothing, family means nothing. Mean nothing means like, it doesn't mean he doesn't responsible for what he did. He take care of them, but he just want to choose different path of life. So they put this thing into consideration deeply, reflect not just one time. And then come to the point that, you know what, I think I want to live life as an ascetic or as a monk. And that's allow him to experience a different form of happiness, a happiness that doesn't come from sense pleasure, happiness that comes from seclusion, happiness that comes from meditation, from the jhana. And perhaps one day I can realize something that the Buddha called Nibbana, the ultimate happiness that human being can achieve, just like the Buddha and the great monk in the past achieve. And the benefit of doing this, if I were to get there, the rebirth will be ended. Stop. This cycle stop. There's no more rams that need to be reborn. And he kind of understand that, you know, and then choose to live life as a monk. That's in the old day, in the context. But this day, I don't think many people come this far into this consideration. We don't even know that, you know, what to believe. We don't even aware that there is life after death, heaven, hell, nibbana. All of this is sound foreign to many of us, especially people in this 21st century. We neglect to look into the deeper meaning of the word life, what it means by life, what does life mean, what is the real purpose of life. But people back then, you think of Socrates, Aristotle, many great philosophers back then, they did talk about this stuff. What is the mind? Where did we come from? Where are we going after we die? What is the purpose of human existence? They don't talk about how to make a living, how can I become rich and richer than this. They actually look into that, the area of life. Prince Siddhartha is one of them. Happen to be smart, think deep, think outside the box. So it's about why ordination is difficult, why going forward is difficult, because of this. Because you need to have this kind of wisdom to see it through. It's difficult. And even though you realize that, okay, it makes sense, I think I want to try, you know, becoming a monk is good. Perhaps one day I can realize Nibbana and stop the rebirth cycle, just like the Buddha did. So after a few years of becoming a monk, they may face difficulty because life after ordination is difficult in the old day. No clean toilet, no access to the clean water, clean food, live in the forest. How can people enjoy living in that condition, right? So that's the second difficulties. And difficult than that is to realize the inner peace, to realize the Dhamma that you practice. that even more difficult. Even though people still feel like it's worth sacrificing, of leaving everything behind, then they ordain. For us here, the goal may not there, it's too far. Okay, whatever goal that you have, you can find time to reflect, to get the most out of this life. You have been a lay life, right? In your whole life, 50 years, 60 years, 30 years, and now you have an option to explore different kind of lifestyle here for 30 days. You may come across something in your mind that you never thought that, hey, it means something to me. Maybe something you find in your meditation, maybe something you find among your monks brothers here. Some kind of wisdom, some form of experience that you have that got you thinking deeper about your own life. So it's about getting to know who you are, what you want in life, and what can monk's life can offer you. And then people take ordination because they really understand that this life is worth living, so let me become a monk. And why people become a monk? The Buddha once said, whatever people in the past, the claimants in the past, in the present and in the future, they rightly went forth from household life into homelessness. Why? All did so in order to break through to the Four Noble Truths as they really are. That's said by the Buddha. So people 2,500 years ago, people in this day, in the 21st century, and people 5,000 years from now, they ordain because of this. That means they develop their wisdom up to the point where they see something is not right. So what's the Four Noble Truths talk about? The Four Noble Truths talk about two main things. That there is dukkha in life, and how can we deal or manage dukkha? Two things. That's the main teaching of the Buddha. But there are more detail when it's come to the Four Noble Truths, which again we will explore them later on. So in the past and now I teach suffering or dukkha and the cessation of suffering. That's the main teaching of the Buddha. In other words, the Buddha actually discovered that there is a nature of life called dukkha, and dukkha come from cause, and this cause can be removed. Okay, and how to remove this cause? To following the Noble Eightfold Path. That's the general idea of the Four Noble Truths. Then a man decided to ordain because he wanted to make known fully of the Four Noble Truths. And every single Buddha discovered the same thing, break through the same thing, to fully understood the Four Noble Truths. So the Four Noble Truths is not the basic teaching. It's one of the most advanced teaching of the Buddha. Most Buddhist people take it very lightly. Oh, I know that. Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha and Makkha. There's four things. I know that. I can pass the exam. But do you really know what it is? This takes a person to achieve enlightenment, to proclaim this, I know Four Noble Truths fully, on the night that he achieved enlightenment. Not right here, right now, as I'm talking to you. I don't know the Four Noble Truths as the Buddha knows. I memorize it, I read it. But do I know about it? Not the same level as the Buddha understands. So this is advanced. And I will have the hand out for you and to show you how advanced of the Four Noble Truths, that you may never thought of it. That's the idea of the Four Noble Truths. So a man come to understand that, and then he decided to become a monk. And then when he become a monk, there's a lot of things that the new monk should know. In this case, the Buddha once talked to his personal attendant, Ānanda. When he take Ānanda to be his personal attendant, he said, I shall not mollycoddle you. I shall not protect you. I shall not take it easy on you, like a potter with the damp and fire pot. I shall speak, correcting you again and again. I will press you again and again. Okay, the core will stand the test. What does it mean here? So that means the way the Buddha trained Ānanda, he will not take it easy on him. There will be no sabai. It's just like no sabai. he take the training very seriously. Okay, we'll keep correcting you again and again. We keep pressing you again and again. The core will stand the test. That means if a person not ready to be trained, that person will quit and go home. But if a person wants to be trained, he is ready to be trained, he wants to be trained, and he is patient enough, okay, he will pass the test, become one of the great disciple of the Buddha. That's the idea of how the monk should be trained. Your attitude should be somewhere in that level, that I want to be better, I want to be trained. There's a lot of things that I don't know, and I want to know that, and I want to know how to do it correctly. So that's how the Buddha trained his attendant, his secretary, Ānanda. Okay. Sometimes we can think of monk as the soldier, military people. When you join the cadet academy, so this new cadet, new student, they need to be trained very hard, right? In terms of discipline, respect, and patience. There's a lot of things that they need to train. Plus the manner, okay, the manner of a cadet, manner of the military people. They also have their code of honors. Okay. The cadet will not lie, will not cheat, will not steal, or tolerate those who do. That's their values, that's their honors. So just like monk, we are trained to be a soldier as well, but we don't fight with any enemy. We fight with our own defilements. We fight with our anger, our greed, our delusion that come into the mind. They have to dress very nice. The shoe has to be shine, and the way they sleep has to be clean and organized. Cannot be sloppily. So they train this, year in and year out until they graduate. So they will be a man of honor, a man of integrity, a man of cleanliness, a man of orderliness, a man of being on time, a man of being polite. And that takes years to build those characters. Monk is the same thing. That's why we have rules about dressing, we have rules about eating, we have rules about talking to women. There's many rules for us to develop, to build that good character of a monk. You guys live here, that's your home for 30 days, 2 by 2. I hope you can manage to keep it clean and organized. I hope you can help each other to make sure that the monastery is always clean. When you see the garbage on the floor, would you mind to pick it up, even though you did not do it? You did not throw it there, can you just pick it up? If you notice the light is on, the water is dropping, can you do something about it? That attitude, that characters. Okay? It's not just, I observe precept, today I don't kill, I don't lie, I'm a good monk. It's not enough. It's not enough. The way you dress, okay, we did talk about that. Okay. And the way you use things, you have to contemplate. The food, the clothes, the shelter, the medicines, before you use it, you need to reflect on it. That's why we do the chanting before we eat, right? Before you acquire, at the time that you're obtaining it, during the time of consuming it, and occasionally you reflect, where did this food come from? Where did the clothes come from? Who built the shelter for me? How can I use medicines? All of this is a habit that the monk should develop. That's why you do this every single meal before you eat. That's why you do this every single morning when you do the chanting. You reflect on your necessity: food, clothes, shelter, and medicine. Where did this come from? Who am I? Why these people, the lay people, offering me those stuff? Am I deserve their offering? So it's about reflecting. When you reflect, you can adjust. If you don't reflect, after a while, you being a monk for 3 months, 6 months, you may realize that, you know what? Food is free here. And food is free for life. Breakfast 7:15, lunch 11:15. I don't have to do anything. I just show up. The food will be there for me, and it's free of cost. It doesn't cost me anything. That means you don't realize it. And then you eat, you go play, go sleep, playing game, watching television. It's not worth living as a monk like that. So we need to reflect. Okay, where this food come from? This is the meaning why that you chant before you eat, right? You wisely reflecting that I use this food not for fun, not for pleasure, not for fattening or building the muscle or beautification, make skin radiant, for only nourishment and maintenance of this body, for keeping the body healthy, for helping the holy life, so I can 2 meals a day, I can live, I can carry on my training. Thinking thus, I shall destroy the feeling. The hunger is the dukkha that come from the body need food every day. Every 6 hours we get hungry, we get thirsty. And if you don't mindful of you eat, you overeating, then you create a different dukkha. The dukkha of eating, overeating, overflood your stomach. That means you're not mindful. Thus there will be freedom from physical discomfort and live at ease. This is what you said before you eat. And it means to reflect. It doesn't be there for you to chant, just go ahead and finish the chanting so I can eat. That's what it means. Every single meal. So deeply reflect, okay, what kind of food today? Is that one healthy? Is this one my body need? That one is, not really. So if you really reflect on this, you will live, we have free from physical discomfort by not overeating too much food, and also you can live longer because you mindful of what you eat. Monks supposed to live long. Why? By default, we don't eat dinner, right? And then not only we don't eat dinner, we can choose what people offer on the table. You can choose, some of you don't eat meat, some of you have less meat, some of you fish, some of you meat, it's okay. But you know your body, what works for your body. You know the level of your cholesterol, your diabetes, whatever you have, okay. And if you adjust your eating habit, maybe it can help improve your health. This is the life of contemplation. This is the life of reflecting every day. And in the evening, you do the confession. That's another time to reflect of, hey, how was my performance today as a monk? Anything I did wrong? Anything that's not right? So you do confession with your friends, just to be open that the purpose of confession is not about, hey, can you remove my sin? I killed some ant today. I say something bad to my friend today. Can you help me to remove that sin? Help me to erase it, so I don't have it no more in my mind. Sin cannot be removed. Every action that done is there. The mind keeps everything, good, bad, not good, not bad. It's there. But the purpose of confession is about the monks to reflect on his own self of what went wrong today. So I am opening to my friend that today I did something wrong. I take the food, I cannot finish it. Please be my witness. Tomorrow I will be mindful and I will not repeat the same mistake again. Then you move on with your life. Be mindful tomorrow. So this is what we do every day. It's not about just saying and then finish. No, it means to be there for you to reflect. And my master teach me that he usually give a direct and get to the point teaching. And someone asked him, what would be the indicator or the thing that I should use for myself, whether today I'm a good monk or not? He said, you know what? Before you go to bed, spend 1 minute to think of yourself. Can you bow to your own feet today before you go to bed? If you cannot bow to your own feet, that day is something wrong. Not you maybe lie to the world, you cannot lie to yourself. So if you cannot bow to your own feet, that day something is not right. So tomorrow fix it. It's not for you to beat yourself up before bed, okay? No, it's for you to learn, to reflect. Okay, I'm a new monk, I make a mistake. Mistake is a part of life because we are ignorant being. Most important question is what to do with it. Or you just ignore it and tomorrow do it again. Today, food left over, cannot finish. Tomorrow again, left over again. Happening 1 week already, nothing changed. And that's happened to Some of us here, we have gentlemen who came, always take a lot of food and cannot finish. And the Bhante, the monk in front of him, noticed his behavior like this. And nobody brave enough to say anything. Everyone remained silent for weeks until this Bhante, the oldest monk, decided, you know what, let me do something about it. Let me talk to him. Hopefully he would be open-minded and listen. He said, brothers, can I say something to you? I have been noticing that you always take the food and cannot finish. I think we are monks, we should be mindful of what we eat and what we take. This food is free, but someone has to pay for it. Would you mind to take little first and go back second round, third round? No problem. And luckily the guy did not get mad. He accepted that, and next day he changed. If this were you, how would you react if someone come in front of you and telling you to change or suggest you that your behavior is not correct? Most people would get mad, get upset, get angry. I admire that big brothers who brave enough to go tell him instead of go through the mentor, because he think, monk, we should be open, right? So we just be here to train ourselves. So if someone telling you, correct you, just like the Buddha correct Ānanda, you should appreciate. First, stop and listen. Don't right away get mad. Because the guy is taking a risk for you to get mad at him, right? So we should learn from this. Okay, first, receive that information and reflect and appreciate that. Okay, thank you, brothers. I'll take a look in that area. And then move on. That should be the ideal of the monastic communities. In the outside world, it's difficult because our ego is so big wherever we go. I know that. Don't even tell me how to eat. Don't tell me how to brush my teeth, clean the toilet, basic stuff. No. Have to let go. Okay? Let go of that. So it's about reflection, then you can grow. If you don't reflect, you're gonna develop a bad habit without knowing that. And no one would dare to say anything to you. And then you would go back home without knowing that, hey, this is incorrect, this is not appropriate. Okay? In the outside world, I think it's difficult for someone to kind enough and brave enough to tell you what to do. If that happens again, listen, appreciate it. Alright, so how the new Buddhist monk should be trained? We get into the discourse, and this discourse called in the Anguttara Nikaya, Andhakavinda Sutta, how the new monk should be trained. So for those of you who never studied Sutra before, today is a perfect day for you to start study Sutra or the discourse of the Buddha as a new monk. It's just perfect because you just ordained 3 days, and now I carefully select this sutra because not only it fits the new monks, it's also a good start because it's not too short and not too long. You may never read sutra before, and if you go home, you may never read it again. Okay, so this 30-day training is perfect, and it's my job to keep bringing you the sutra or the teaching of the Buddha, and then we can kind of help each other to understand the meaning behind what we read, or in other words, we help each other to, I like to use the word decoding the word of the Buddha. The Buddha is like programmer, right? So because every sutra, every teaching, he teach a certain group of monks. Sometimes one monk, sometimes 3 monks, sometimes a group of monks. We have to know the context, where the Buddha talk about this, why he talk about this, and who was the student. Then it helps us to understand. So in this case, the Buddha talking to Ānanda. And the sutra begin like this. At one time, the Buddha was staying in the land of Makkhantha, or the Makkot in Thai. The Makkhantha is like the regions. And the town is called Andhakavinda. That's the town, the name of the town. And this name of the town become the name of the sutra. Okay. Venerable Ānanda went up to the Buddha and bow. Now you have to imagine that yourself, were there. Okay, when you study the sutra, it helps you to understand better. So Buddha was there in that town, and how many monks there? All of a sudden, Venerable Ānanda came and bowed to the Buddha and sat down. He bowed and he sat down on one side, and then the Buddha said to him, to Ānanda, he said, Ānanda, those bhikkhu or monks who are junior, recently gone forth or just ordained, newly come to this teaching and training, they should be encouraged, they should be supported, and they should be established in these 5 things. If we just read this passage, it seems like, okay, that's it. Okay, the Buddha talked to Ānanda. Okay, if you have new monk, you train them 5 things. Is there anything else we get out of this passage? We cannot take the teaching lightly. This comes with a lot of deep meaning behind the sentence that we just read. Okay, number 1, the Buddha actually instruct this like an order. It's an order. Ānanda is a senior monk. So that means if anyone were to give an ordination to someone, you are responsible for this, to give them these 5 things. You cannot just let them ordain and let them pray around in the temple, play with the dog, the cat. No, they have things to do. Make sure train them these 5 things. And the junior or the newly ordained, newly come to the training and teaching mean what? According to the Vinaya, if you under the 5 years, you are considered a newly ordained monk. We call a Navaka, 1 to 5. Okay, from 1 to 5. But if you 6 to 9, you become Majjhima, you mature enough. But if you get to 10 and more, you become a Thera. Thera means you are senior monk. You mature enough. Not only to look after yourself, you can look after your monk's brother, the young one. And hopefully Buddhism can rely on you wherever you go. Wherever you land in this world, if you ordain 10 years, that person should be reliable for Buddhism. That means you know rules, you know manner, you know protocol, you know things. It takes time. So if you younger than 5 years, you are considered newly ordained monk, you should be encouraged, you should be supported, you should be established in these 5 things. That's the order from the Buddha to Ānanda. And that's, I think it should be the order to all the senior monks who give ordination. Don't just ordain and leave the new monk alone with the phone with the Wi-Fi at his hut. That's not the way. You train the monk. You train them. Encourage means what? This the Pali called Sampathan. Sampathan means if they don't know the precept, make sure they know the precept. If they don't know how to meditate, make sure they know how to do it. That's encourage. And then support them to grow that precept, to grow that meditation, to grow that mindfulness. Not only that, establish, make sure that they become a man of precept, they become a man of meditation, they become a man of mindful being, they become a man of clean, polite, organized, all of this. Make sure you secure them, talk to them, pressing them, answer them, support them in this new life. If you are here 30 days, you're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this to you 30 days. If you're here more longer than this, again, we're going to keep doing the same thing because there's a lot of things for the new monk to learn. Okay, and in fact, there are a lot. Okay, but today I'm going to give you the scope, the theme that the new monk should at least aware in these 5 things. Then you can go from there. Okay, the first one, the bhikkhu should be virtuous, be well restrained, accordance with patimokkha, perfect in your behavior and sphere of activities. Train yourself, having undertaken the training rules, seeing danger in the slightest fault. This one the Buddha add on in detail a little bit. Okay, it's a short version to Ānanda. Ānanda happened to be a smart secretary. The Buddha say a few things, he can elaborate more to the new monks. But for us, we need those elaboration. We need those explanation, not just this one. But for Ānanda, he understand. Bhikkhu be virtuous, the well restrained in Patimokha. What is Patimokha again? Patimokha is a set of rules to be observed by monks. Those the one meaning of the Patimokha. So by default, we observe 227 rules according to Theravada Buddhism. 2,500 years ago, nowadays, and in the future, no change. The Theravada Buddhism, the nickname for this is the doctrine of the elders. You cannot add something to it. You cannot remove anything out of it. It's fixed. The door is locked. That Theravada, unlike Mahayana, which still more rooms that can adjust, can change. Theravada not allowed. So this is the Patimokkha. Start from here 227. We don't know all this. It's okay. You just ordain. Okay. At least you know the most important one first, and we go from there. And here, be virtuous. What does it mean? This is referred to the precept. Sometimes you think of the word sila, right? I want to use a simple word. Don't be an evil person. Now you be a monk. A monk is a man of precept. A monk is a man of peace. Don't be an evil person. Don't be a bad person here. This community doesn't want having bad people. They welcome only good people. A man that's willing to observe precept. A man that's willing to obey the rules. That's why it lasts 2,500 years. And this is broad, right? Or how can I be a good person? How can I be a good monk? The Buddha narrowed it down to 227. This is the core of monk's life. Monk without precept is not a monk. The main difference between monk's life, the man who walk on the highway of life toward Nibbana, and the lay life, one main difference is the precept they observe. The lay person observe 5 precepts, sometimes 0 precepts. It's okay because they're lay person. But monk, you cannot choose that, oh, today I just want to observe 3 precepts. Tomorrow 10, and next day 200. No. The moment that you become a monk, you walk out of the chapel, by default, it's that 220 precept is in you to observe, to protect, to keep it clean. The precept is not there to, again, inconvenience you. You may feel like, oh, Long Pi, there's a lot of rules. I don't know. I don't want to break precept. I feel, depressed. No. The precept, when you get to know it, it's actually there to protect you. It's like you put the armor when you go to war. So this armor will protect the arrow, protect the knife. It's like a bulletproof vest that you wear. So when you have this on, you'll be okay. Because, for example, you're not allowed to touch women, right? When you put this on. So there's no lust. Lust may occur in the mind, but you will not break precept because you know, hey, I'm a monk. Today cannot touch women. So you put the armor on. They protect you. Okay? Then when you have precept clean, the benefit is you're going to have good meditation because you cannot find guilty in your own action. That's the benefit. The mind can be worry-free. Okay, elaborate here a little bit. Okay, Long Pi, I don't know 227. It's okay. 5 years, gentlemen. Give yourself 5 years to know this. Just like the monk in Norway. He stayed with the teacher 5 years. So he is certain that this one can do, this one cannot do. This one I should do, this one I should not do. So then he can save, he can protect himself wherever he go in this world because he understands the rules. He understands the rules, he understands the role of being good monk. So get to know this, but not in these 30 days. Do not just sit there and read all of this. We want you to have good meditation too, experience. You're here to meditate, you're here to experience a little bit here and there. You're not going to be here for life, okay? But again, ideally, okay, that's what the monk should do, should understand. And perfect in your behavior and the activity, like I said, the manner, the culture that we have to get to know. Now we in Thailand, what Thai people expect, when you ordain. Okay? The way you dress, the way you eat, the way you talk, there are things involved, and that take time to learn, take time to understand. But keep in mind that okay, there's still a lot of things. That's why you need to be with someone in the first 5 years. So train yourself according to all the rules you observe and seeing the danger in the slightest fault. Now the Buddha gives us the hint here. What does it mean? See danger in the slightest fault. Like I said, the example that I gave. If you notice that there's a cigarette button over there, And you guys, 17 of you, walk past by every day, breakfast and lunch, and nobody pick it up. In my eye, as a trainer, something is wrong with these people. That means none of my business. I did not do it. I wouldn't dare to pick it up. But what I have been trained in the first 5 years, everything is your business because nobody owns the temple. Nobody owns the monastery. When you become a monk, you're responsible for everything here. The electric breakdown, the water breakdown, you have to inform someone. Don't just let the water run all day. Don't just let the light turn on all day. And feeling that is none of my business. It's your business to make sure the environment is peaceful. Someone pay for us. Electric bill, water bill. I don't pay for it. Somebody pay for me. The foundation pay for us. The lay people donate money. They pay for us. And we should aware of that and feel grateful for that, right? And one day if they have no faith in you, they have no faith in Buddhism, they stop supporting monks. Oh, monk do nothing, eat free food, sleep all day long. Every time I came, the temple is dirty. The story that one of the couple of the millionaire, they're just in a good mood. They want to donate 1 million today. They drove around, just find the temple they want to donate. They stop by the one temple and they get out of their Mercedes Benz. And first thing what happened, they step on the poop of the dog. From 1 million coming down to 1,000 baht. Just put in the box, donation box, and drive away. So the faith dropped. That means the abbot or the monk here don't even sweep the floor. The dog poop is everywhere. The toilet is not clean. So the faith dropped. No support. So what you do affect the whole Sangha. You may feel like, Luang Pi, how can it possible? I just ordained 3 days. How can I be responsible for all of this? You are. People don't care how long you become a monk. Monk is a monk. Whether you go arms round or I go arms round, they give us the same food. They share the same faith level toward you and toward me. When you go to the city, you travel, go to the airport, whatever you do, your action affect the whole Sangha community in Thailand. What kind of place that the monk should not go? There is something called the Khochara. Khochara is the Pali word. Khochara means at least 3 things. First is the place. Second is the people. And the third is the emotion. There's a place that the monk shouldn't be going, like the crowded place, like the shopping mall, go to the concert, go to places that gambling or those kind of stuff. We shouldn't be going. And the people that we shouldn't be hanging out with, there are such a people as well, like bad people. You guys need to be careful. Okay? And the emotion in terms of thinking, you should let the mind go to such emotion like negativity toward yourself and toward the world around you. When the mind is crowded, bring it back. Don't let it go there. You see, there are layers of the Dhamma that it's just a beautiful teaching. There's no end to it. It's more refined. So bring the mind back. Make sure the mind is sabai. Make sure the mind is wholesome. So Ananda, encourage them, support them, and help them to establish this virtue. Make sure that they are good monks. Don't just let them do nothing here. They ordain for a purpose. They sacrifice a lot. Make sure they get something out of their ordination. Okay, you guys here 30 days. Okay, it's our job to let you get the most out of it. And the monastic code 227 may seem a lot, right? But we can group them into at least these 5 headings. The first, there will be rules about the precept that preventing us from harming oneself and others, like killing, those stuff. And the precept that about celibacy, right? Monk, we live the lay life. We're not allowed to get involved in sensualities. That's why there are rules when it comes to dealing with women. And the rules that about using our necessity, the clothes, the food, the shelter, the medicine that we use, we have to reflect on that. So there are rules, okay, on that area as well. And number 4 is the rule that help united the Sangha. Every 15 days, the monk need to go to the Patimokha to listen to the chanting. at the chapel somewhere. If you can find a monk who can do the chanting, so you get together. Okay, there are ceremony, there are things that the sangha need help, then we go help. There are rules that protect the unblemished the sangha. There are some rules that not mentioned in the Patimokkha itself, because there's no such thing in the Buddha time, that you need to think very carefully. For example, can monk drive the car? Who say yes? Who say no?
It depends the context. There are monks who drive cars.
Okay, you saw monk drive the car, right? But if we go by rules, by books, just like the lawyer, we go by books. There's no such thing written that the monk cannot drive a car, because there was no car in the Buddha time. And how come you see monk drive a car? In the northeastern part of Thailand, I actually happened to be there, and the lay people happily, they offer monk the car. The key here is for you, because you live remotely. I don't want you to walk to the village, If we invite you for do certain kind of ceremony, so here is the car, take it. Everyone in the village happy for the monk to have a car and allow him to drive to get food. No problem. But in certain city, monk not allowed. There's no chance for you to drive. People will complain, and if someone complain, then we stop. So this kind of a little bit tricky. Okay, you need to understand the context where you belong. Okay, if the lay people, villager, okay, it doesn't harm anything, they happily for you to have it. It's not right and wrong per se. It's about should and should not, right? Because it's far, you alone in the wood, then maybe okay. But if you go to different places, if the context there is not allowed, then you shouldn't be doing that. Okay. What if you hit someone die? You go to jail. No exception. Whether you monk or lay person, you hit someone die on the street, or you crash into someone's house, then you have to think deep. So like this, there are rules like this that you may not realize at the beginning, and we're not going to just go to all this, right? So we learn along the way. That's why in the first 5 years, know all of this so you can save yourself. Sometimes people just following something wrongly. They don't know the reason, they just follow. But if you study, you go by rules. And the second one, after you establish the precept, now you are man of precept. Okay, second thing, Ānanda, the Buddha suggests Ānanda to train the monks to establish the sense restraint. Sense means the eyes see the form, the ear hear the sound, the nose smell the smell, the tongue taste the taste, the body feel the touch, and the mind feel the thought. So this is called sense thought. This is how human beings interact with the outside world, through these physical organs. 5 plus 1, 5 body, 1 mind. So this is how we experience the world. Establish the sense restraint or the sense control with mindfulness as your protector, with mindfulness as your chief, with your intellect self-protected, endow with awareness protected by mindfulness. Encourage them, support them, help them to establish this, to be a man of mindfulness. Why? When you break precept, the 200 rule is about body and speech. Nothing much to do with the mind. If you hear and you think in the evening, let's say after finish evening chanting, and you feel like I'm hungry. If I were to be at home, I can order some pizza or fried rice, and I can enjoy eating food, watching the television. So you're thinking of eating food in the evening. Do you break precept? You haven't eaten it yet, right? You just think. But you're not supposed to think. But in terms of breaking precept or not, no, you're not. But once the food goes into your mouth, that's when you break precept. You're just thinking. When you break precept, someone knows, someone sees. You say something bad, you eat the food left over, you yell to your friends, you kill the ants, you behave yourself wrongly. Your monk's brother would know, they can see. Whether they tell you or not, that's another story. But someone can see your misbehavior and you break precept. Then if they kind enough, they help you to correct that. Then you're lucky. If people ignore you because your ego is so big, then you're dead man. cannot grow. But when it comes to the sense control, the dangerous thing is nobody knows what you think. Nobody knows what you think. You think you may be here thinking of food, thinking of women, thinking of shopping, this rope, go there, do this. No one knows the bad thought that you are thinking, which can harm yourself and your friend have no idea why the monk is upset today. So guarding the sense door is like you stand guard at the door of your mind. Whatever input that come to your ear, your eye, your nose, you stand guard there with mindfulness. If mindfulness is there, it gives rise to mindfulness called sati, right? When sati or mindfulness is there, it gives rise to sampachanya or the wisdom that can help you to evaluate what to do next. If you go arms round in the morning and you're not supposed to look at the person who gives food to you. You try to be mindful, and all of a sudden, as the moment that she offering something into your bowl, and you accidentally look at her hand, and you may feel like, wow, the hand is so white. How would that person look like? So from seeing fingers, go higher and to the face. And now you open the door for this beautiful image to your eye, and it goes to the mind. And when that monk come back, guess what? The image of that lady, beautiful lady, the smell of her perfumes, the way she dressed, that picture is vividly in his mind for days. Cannot meditate. And you don't know what's happened to your friends, because he did not guard his sense door. And he did not break any precept either. But it's just the mind itself. It cannot be at peace, no longer be at peace because of lust get into the mind. This is quite deep. Why the Buddha instruct Ānanda to make sure that you teach them to guard the sense door. And why the monk disrobe? One of the main reasons the monk disrobe, they just surrender to the sense pleasure. Thinking of comfortable life, thinking of girlfriends, thinking of soft bed, air conditioning. Let me go home. Why? I have been sitting here 3 months, see nothing, hear nothing. Because that sense happiness is the happiness that you can feel right away. When you eat, you know it's tasty or not, right? You experience right away. But now we're talking about a refined form of happiness. Happiness comes from meditation. Well, I kind of feel it, but I'm not sure. It has been 3 months. Whether I'm happy with my meditation or not. And then you start to doubt the technique, to doubt the teacher, and then feel like, well, you know what, I'll come back later. Just go eat good food, go meet girlfriends, go travel the world, go shopping. That's more fun over there, back home. Okay? So guard the sense door. This is dangerous if you don't guard the sense door. And then the third one, Buddha instruct Ānanda, tell them to speak only little, place limit on your conversation, encourage them, support them, establish them. It doesn't mean you cannot talk. What kind of thing that they normally talk? They just ordained. They don't know the Dhamma. They don't have any meditation experience. So they normally talk about their life as a lay person. How beautiful of the girlfriends, how delicious of that food, how wonderful of the iPhone 17, all of those stuff. They talk about worldly stuff, right? They don't talk about the Dhamma. So if you have the monks sit there and enjoy talking all day long, so most likely the mind will be disturbed and no peace when they come to meditate. And when the monk don't realize the inner peace, the monk wants to go back to the happiness that they can get right away, which is the happiness from sense pleasure. Be mindful of what you talk, okay? Talk with mindfulness, talk with loving kindness, talk enough. And then the next one, establish in the retreat, resort to remote wilderness and forest dwelling. Because in the Buddha time, monks stay in the forest. When someone get ordained, they learn the meditation subject from the preceptor, and then they go find their own place to practice themselves. So they stay in the forest, not in the city, not in the village, not too far, not too close from the village, so they can get food, they can get medical support if they need it. In other words, in this case, the Buddha prepared monks for meditation, to be secluded from all the distraction. If they don't know how to meditate, teach them. If they know how to meditate, support them, and make sure they become a man of meditation. They're comfortable with their meditation practice. If they have questions, answer them. So the monk will be a man of precept. So after a few weeks, few months, the monk sit in that long, during that time, he would experience the inner peace. And when the mind get to understand the inner peace, it slowly detached from the sense pleasure world. That's why the monk don't disrobe. So if monk cannot find peace from meditation, monk has to find happiness from someplace else. To work, to talking to the lay person, to the computer, to whatever it is. The Buddha suggests here someone who ordained, and that person really look into the different form of happiness. Happiness that comes from meditation. So every day we should at least feel peace of mind through our meditation. The mind let go, the mind sabai, the mind relax. Okay, go from there first. From now, you just sit for 1 week, 2 weeks. Okay, your meditation experience may not there yet, but it's okay. Continue to sit. Okay, you in this process to establish the habit of meditation. And the last one, develop the right view. Be endowed with the right vision. Encourage them, support them, establish them. Again, right view has different meanings. Ultimately, right view means to understand the Four Noble Truths, to understand that there's dukkha in life. Okay, there's something there in the later life. Ordination is good life, something like this. So in this case, you decided to be a monk. The right view of you being a monk is to see the benefit of you being a monk. Being away from the phone, being away from the family for 30 days, live in these environments in the forest for 30 days, have a chance to experience slow life, the life of the monks. Develop that view toward this lifestyle in this 30 days of you being a monk. That's motivate you to get going. Meditation, precept, all of this can continue to develop because you have the right view. Once your view changes, you go back to your world. Like I said, okay, you know what? It's difficult here. No food that I like. I don't like people here. I don't like the toilet here. I don't like the bed here. It's about I don't like this stuff. So let me go home. That's the view you develop. Okay, so this is the right view for now. To see the benefit of you being a monk. To see the benefit of you that the world allow you to experience this freedom of life for 30 days. So take it. Get the most out of it. To summarize, there are 5 things that the new monk should develop, right? First, be virtuous, get to know the precept, get to know the manners, be a good person. Protecting the door of sense, develop the skill to guard your sense door. You cannot keep the eye blind all the time. It's okay for the eye to see, but you have to be mindful of what to see. Limit the conversation, okay, understand that. The forest retreat, now we're in the forest, we're here to meditate and develop the right view. If we divided them into 3 groups, okay, this is the precept or the sila, same thing. Number 1 and number 3 is the precept, and number 4 is the meditation. Okay, number 2 and number 4 is mindfulness and meditation, and number 5 is about wisdom. That's what I said at the beginning. All the sutra that the Buddha teach the new monk, or how he wants monk to be trained, will coming down to these 3 principles: the precept, the meditation, and the wisdom. Like this, a wise man grounded in ethic or precept, developing the mind or meditation, and then develop the wisdom. A keen and alert bhikkhu can untangle this tangle mass. Tangle mass refer to the defilement, to the greed, hatred, delusion, you name it, or including ignorance. So you can deal with those cravings, you can deal with those unwholesome things when you develop yourself in these 3 framework, these 3 areas: the area of sila or precept, the area of mind or meditation, and the area of panya or wisdom through the study of the Dhamma or the Trisikha, which is the short version of the Noble Eightfold Path, the threefold training, the training of precept. Be a virtuous man, be a man of kind heart, and be a man of wisdom. So here again, if you look at this picture, a man decided to become a monk, and now you know that monks aiming at Nibbana to realize the ultimate happiness, to stop the rebirth cycle. And to do this is not easy task at all. He needs to walk uphill, upstream, not downstream. The stream of greed, the stream of lust, the stream of anger, the stream of delusion, the stream of ignorance, the stream of defilement. So when someone go downstream, it's easy, right? It's easy to go watch movie 3 hours comparing to go 30-minute meditation. If you invite your friend to go meditate or invite them to go, watching movie or playing game, they're easy to go this route. But now cannot. This is the way of life of the monks, to walk upstream, day in and day out, cannot be lazy, cannot do this, cannot do that, should do this, should do that, in these 5 years. And for me, I think this is what the monks do for the rest of his life. Remember, one of the goals of the holy life is to get rid of this guy, right? As long as they're still there, or some of them still there, the job is not finished. To find a way to remove them, the greed, the lust, the hatred, the delusion of this. And the Buddha not only just that explain to us, he also give us the truth. You guys develop yourself according to this 3 framework. Okay, be a man of sila, know what to do, know what not to do. Be a man of kind heart, develop mindfulness, develop meditation, develop loving kindness, and be a man of panya or wisdom, day in and day out. So sila, samadhi, panya, sila, samadhi, panya. And that's the instruction of the Buddha to the new monks in this particular sutra. If you remember nothing, you take these 3 things. You train yourself according to the precept. Get to know what you can, you cannot. Get to know the manners, and you train yourself to be mindful and and meditate more. And you get to know the teaching of the Buddha through the Dhamma and the lecture that we provide here. Okay, so sila, samadhi or meditation, and the panya or wisdom. So these are the 3 areas. You cannot go wrong with this structure. Just cannot go wrong. If you stay 30 days, you have a chance to practice all these 30 days as a monk. And if you feel like you want to carry on, you can take some of this to train yourself at home. And from 227 precepts coming down to 5 precepts, why not? And from time to time, you can observe 8 precepts. Once a month, why not? It's up to you, right? Okay, so any suggestion, feedback, comment, question before we finish? So let's take a break.